Yep, email marketing is dead. This clearly doesn't work. We did about $107,000 in a week on my email list, just emailing them, no other paid ads, nothing else. And I want to teach you how to be an email marketer as a beginner. That's the purpose of this video. Is that okay? Buckle up. Here's the thing, everyone asks how to be an email marketer. And if you're just new and you're just starting out, first of all, understand that email marketing is really just a matter of principles, has very little to do with platforms. So whether you're thinking about, hey, this is gonna be, what platform should I use? What's the best timing? All that stuff can matter a little bit, but means nothing if you don't know marketing itself. If you're watching this video, you're brand new, and there's literally a whole career you can build around email marketing. But I wanna show you guys 3 things you should know, 3 different strategies on how you can make your emails the most effective. But more importantly, I play drums.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
First of all, before I jump into these strategies, I want you to know that email marketing works because of the list. It's all about the list. It has less to do with the fact that it's an email and more to do with the fact that you own some distribution. Why do some of the best companies out there get purchased when another company could go clone some piece of software? It's because of the list. The list, the buyer's list, the opt-in list. The list is the power a lot of times inside of a company. So that's what this is all about. So first of all, know that this works whether or not you have a list. Obviously, as you are growing, you get more power, more speed. So here's the 3 strategies. Let's dive into strategy number 1. So the first strategy here is I want you to see, all we're gonna do is we're gonna build a page. And this is what you do inside of a ClickFunnels account, wherever you choose to use. And people are gonna opt in right here. They put their email in, They press submit, submit. And when they press submit, they go to a thank you page or something that they can download, some PDF, and then now they're suddenly on your list. So when they go in, list, your opt-ins, that lets you collect a list and you can begin to email and send emails to those people marketing your products and services. Okay, it's very, very simple. Now, this is an easy way to do business, especially on the internet. It's still one of the most powerful ways. I actually once heard a stat, don't quote me on this, email marketing is still 40 times more effective than organic marketing. So when people say it's dead, they're usually just bad at marketing. So this is very simple to build inside of something like ClickFunnels. If you don't have ClickFunnels, you're psycho. Go get it. There's a free trial at freecftrial.com. In ClickFunnels, you don't need to be a coder or a page builder or something like that. I literally can just click right here as a template, and it'll go in and build this page out, and now I can go collect people's email addresses and start building up this list. Now, obviously, the bigger the list, the more chances of me making a sale. I'm pitching more people with the exact same amount of time. So the whole goal, the whole metric, Steve, how do we know that this is actually an effective email strategy? This is the number we're looking at right here. If I can go and look to see that I'm making $1 per person per month, I'm doing an okay job. Now, as your skill set in email marketing increases, it might be $2 per person per month, then 3, then 4. Expect that metric as you kind of start to go through this. Let's jump into my ClickFunnels account. I'm gonna show you guys the power of what I'm talking about right here. Inside my ClickFunnels account, you can see this is a very simple place. I've pulled off strategy number 1, just building an opt-in list. In the last 3 months here, I've had 1,500 visits to this page, 892 people actually see it, unique people, and 500 opted in. So the 56% of people who are seeing that page are actually giving me their email address so I can follow up. That's great. Now let's look at the page. You may or may not get those kinds of opt-ins, and that's totally fine. Let's look inside the actual page itself. So this is the page. If you go to launchforprofit.com, you'll see the live page right there. And all I'm asking for is people's email address. There's no purchase. This is a pretty simple thing to pull off. You can build yourself this page really, really quickly. There's templates like this inside of ClickFunnels. And all I'm doing is I'm giving some information and asking for their email. This works really, really well if you have some free PDF like you'll see right here on this page. Get this free PDF, put your email in and it'll download it for free. This works really well if you want to say, you know what, there's a big event coming up, and join the notification list. This works very well when you're saying, hey, your email address is your currency. So I want you to think about that. Just because there's no money involved doesn't mean I don't need to sell it. Okay, their email address, their information is their currency. It's what they're purchasing with. And so you have to keep that mentality throughout anytime you're making any kind of squeeze page or registration page. So that's all I'm doing right here. I'm giving value and they're buying it with their email address. And by doing that, I still have to sell them. And that's one of the biggest mistakes beginners make in email marketing is they're like, well, it's free. How come no one's opting in? You still got to sell it just because it's free. So let's keep scrolling down here. And look, I'm saying like, hey, step 1, download. Step 2, subscribe. Step 3, look at this masterclass. All right, there's, and then join this group. Do this. This works really, really well. Like I said, to go grab and pull out lots of different email addresses for free. The whole idea is that you have something of value that you exchange with their email address and they are buying it with their information. And once you think of it that way, it's a lot easier to make this type of one. Strategy number 1. Oh yeah, Q-tip, throw it away. Q-tip, throw it away. Here's strategy number 2. This is called the SLO. Now, this is one of my favorite strategies ever, and frankly, I usually skip strategy 1 and go right to number 2. And this is because this lets me actually spend money to build an email list. Check this out. Let's go to my iPad and I'm gonna draw this. So instead of just having a free thing right from the beginning and only going for the information, I actually personally like to go straight for the purchase right from the get-go, and I'll collect their email at that point. So instead of, this is what the funnel looks like. We have something that they'll buy for cheap. Right here, something that's cheap. Then we'll have the first upsell, or we call it as a one-time offer. Then we'll have another upsell, OTO2, right? Then we'll usually have like a thank you page. That's a pretty standard funnel that you would see out there. There might even be a downsell off of that second one right there, downsell. Okay, and so the power of this is this lets me actually start spending money to actually get people's attention and get them to come opt in. Whereas in the other version, I kind of have to just kind of do it usually by organically. I can't spend money profitably to grow my list. Here, I can spend my money to grow my email list profitably. And so that's the power of this whole thing. So my whole goal when I'm doing this, let's say that this is, I don't know, I'm making these numbers up, guys, but let's say it's $7 here. Let's say this is a $27 thing. Let's say this is $97. Okay, and let's say that I'm getting an average cart value, or on average people are spending, I don't know, I would expect $20 maybe for this kind of thing. Maybe $20, that might be a little high even, but that means I can spend up to $20 to acquire an email list, an actual email, profitably before I start losing money. That's the magic. That's what lets you get in front of everyone else who's an email marketer but doesn't understand this. That's why this is my preferred strategy still. Okay, so I go in and I will first capture. Let's say I'm a brand new, let's say you come into one of these funnels right here and you start, let's say you come into one of these funnels right here and you're like, hey, I'm gonna come buy. And by the time you purchase, okay, you spent $7. You spent $7 and you come here and you say, nah, I'm not gonna have that. So I get 0 from you here. You're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have that here. So I get $97 from you right here. And over and over and over again, it actually makes it so that I'm collecting cash for all the people coming on in. So this is one of my favorite ways to grow an email list and lets me put money behind it. Now I can spend money profitably up to $20, right, to actually acquire a purchaser, but I might get 5 or 6 people's email addresses. One of the first times I ever did this, I was in college. I was promoting somebody else's products because I didn't have one myself, and I spent $50 in ads, and we got $50 back out, but 17 people joined my list. So it was a break-even activity, but still successful because now 17 people are on my list. And so if you go out and you start doing this, you're like, Steven, I'm not making any cash with this. It's successful if people are joining your email list. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, list size does matter. Yeah. What? I can't fix your confidence issues around that. People who say it doesn't matter have small lists. Don't talk to me about that. Now, one of my favorite ways to pull the strategy off, which I alluded to before, is with affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing lets me spend money, get some commission, and grow a list very quickly without building my own product. So you may or may not have a product right now, and this is still one of my favorite ways to do this, even though I have my own products. So let's look at my ClickFunnels account and I'll show you how this works. So here are the stats of Russell Brunson's Traffic Secrets book. If you go to secretsoftraffic.com, you'll see this live page right now, actually. Since around the time he started that campaign, 7,000 people have seen the unique people have seen this page. 3,000 have actually opted in. 3,000 people. Now, again, this is not my product. I did not go write this amazing book, so it's someone else's thing. I'm just saying go buy it through my link, and I collect their email address while I do it. This is, again, one of my favorite strategies to pull it off. That's the Secrets of Traffic. You can see the page right there. Another one of my favorites, this is, if you go to topleadfunnels.com, you also can go check it out. Also, 4,000 unique people have seen that page. 1,800 opted in. That's a 39% opt-in rate. That's really good. So 39% is not a bad opt-in rate. And you might get higher, might get lower if this is your first time pulling this off. But again, this is a lot with organic traffic. We also have spent money to these types of funnels in the past, and they will go in and just massively increase how many people are joining our list. Let's go back to the iPad. Remember that the only goal here is that when we spend $1 in advertising and you're brand new, right, that you're getting $1 back out, $1 out, and that you're collecting the email. The email, that's the whole goal right there. That means that I can go and play on the same field as big corporations. That lets me get a huge email address very, very quickly. That gets me further faster than everyone else who's selling something that might be kind of similar to what I'm selling. And so if you're in that situation, know that it kind of is a numbers game. If I get a huge list, yeah, list size does matter. I remember when I first got like 10,000 people on my list, yeah, I was making like $10,000 a month. And then I got better. And then it was like, hey, 20,000, then 30,000, then 40,000. It kept going, and that was how that's how you play the game as an email marketer today. A few other examples here, just want to show you. There's another one here, make affiliates great again. That's an affiliate funnel that I created. You can see right here, 14,000 unique people have checked it out. 3,000 have opted in. We have lots of people who engage in the follow-up sequence right here, which I'll tell you more about in the next strategy. And that's how it's one of the ways I grow my list so fast. And every day, in fact, I just looked at my stats, we get, it's usually 50 to 70 people a day that are joining my email list. Now, if I have any skill at all in being a real internet marketer and email marketer, that's like giving myself a $70 raise every day. May not sound like a lot, but this is automated, you understand? And so sit back and ask, how much do you want to give yourself a raise of today? Like, how can you give yourself a raise? Grow your list. It's one of the easiest ways to do it. I gotta make a new product. Do you? Or you just have to grow your list? I gotta be like this celebrity influencer online. Do you? Or do you just need an email list? Okay, that's why I'm trying to get this out to you here and show you that the power is the list. Anywhere you go on the internet. Why is it powerful for influencers online? Because they have a big list and they focus on list building strategies. Guys, that's strategy number 2. Let's go to number 3. All right, strategy number 3, now I call this huge follow-up. Follow-up. You've heard the phrase, fortune is in the follow-up, and that is actually very, very accurate. I also want you to keep in your mind another phrase that says something like, oh crap, I can't actually remember what it was. Buy or die, okay? Follow up until they buy or until they die. I want to tell you right now, and this is just my own personal opinion, I don't actually delete or clean up my email list, as some people say to go do. I email until they get annoyed enough that they either opt out, which hardly ever happens, or they buy. And I just follow up and create these huge sequences, and that's what I'm going to show you. Let's go to my iPad real quick and I can show you. Oh, you again. All right, so right here in this follow-up, let's look at my iPad. So now that you got this big email list, right? You spent time, you spent money creating this email list. And the list is big, right? L is my thing for list. And you got your list, and there's all these people that have opted into you. Maybe some have purchased, maybe some of them haven't. But there's a lot of people that are just, pay no attention to there's a lot of people who will just go in and they start creating these follow-up sequences, but it's only for the length of the funnel itself. Meaning, if we look back here inside my iPad, right, they'll only say, okay, these emails, they're promoting bam right there, bam right there, bam right there. But the funnel, that's as far as they follow up. There'll be like a 5 email follow-up sequence, and that's better than not having it. But they suddenly never email again. Never. The reason this video started with me showing you that we'd have done 107 grand like in a week, okay? Guess who we emailed? The same people were on the list. The same people we've pitched those products to. All we did is we just started emailing them again, man. That's it. Okay, fortune is in the follow-up. And don't think that just because they said no to you now, that it's a no forever. You can continue to pitch people. And so what we go do is we'll create these follow-up sequences where, again, the first few emails, remember I was talking about before, that might be for the length of the actual pages of the funnel itself. But I want to go beyond that. So I have buddies right now that have 60-day follow-up sequences. The longest I've ever heard is a 5-year follow-up sequence that someone has. And you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like it's for beginners. It's not, okay? But understand though that the quicker you can get to start creating a packaged, pre-done follow-up sequence where you're consistently emailing them out, communicating with them, following up with them, more and more marketing messages. It's not the same message every time, but the more you can do that, the faster you can get to profitability. let's just say, run the scenario with me, guys, that I go in and I spend $1 in advertising and I get somebody on my email list and I don't get $1 back out during the funnel. And I have to wait till, I don't know, day 8, right? And now I get my $1 back out. That's still profitable business. You just floated it for 8 days. You understand? So a lot of people, when I go and I coach them, and you're brand new here, a lot of people when I go and I coach them, one of the easiest methods for you to get success is just to increase your follow-up. It's not that your offer may be good enough. Your funnel may be good enough. Your market messaging may be good enough. Maybe the baby was just crying and they forgot to buy from you. I was reading a book from Bill Glazer recently, and he said, think about all the reasons that someone doesn't buy from you. Oh my gosh, maybe they did need to talk to their spouse. Maybe they got a little bit annoyed by something you had said. I don't know, maybe there was some competition who had a better price and they price shopped you, right? Maybe he said of all these reasons, which are all valid reasons, the number one reason someone does not buy from you is they forget. They just forget to buy from you, right? Something may have happened in their life. They're busy too, right? And it's not, the mistake is to think that no one bought my thing and now I gotta go change my offer and my funnel and all this stuff. Maybe you just haven't followed up with them. I saw another thing from Frank Kern, who I really love Frank Kern's materials. His stuff is incredible. And he was showing how, he's like, hey, if I didn't follow up today, I would have missed out on like 70 grand. Okay? Follow up. Now these things, these 3 strategies. Strategy 1, where you're just building an email list off of generic opt-ins. Strategy number 2, where you're going in and you have the SLO, where you actually put a product and paid advertising behind it. And strategy number 3, follow-up. Don't think of them so much as strategies as in phases. And that's why I taught them the way that you have. If you don't even have a way for someone to opt in, don't be thinking about your follow-up. Opt in. If you don't have anything to get out there and actually put paid advertising behind and not a product out there, don't be thinking about follow-up. If you don't have a product that is, don't be thinking about your follow-up if you don't have a product yet. You're not at the phase yet. And then if you're like, oh my gosh, follow-up wise, like the follow-up sequences, I'd usually do that after my funnel's out there and actually launched. I hope that makes sense to you, that is really the money and a lot of the cash that comes in email marketing. So you as a beginner watching this right now, you're like, oh my gosh, I need my follow-up sequence. Yeah, but make sure that you're getting good opt-ins first. Oh, I need my follow-up sequence. Yeah, but make sure that you've got a way to, the best case scenario is have some paid advertising to grow your list. That's the fastest. Money's faster than time. Always remember that. And then you're like, oh, now I can focus on my follow-up. So after I build my sales funnels, guys, know that with my team, I go build them, and then phase 2 is when I focus on follow-up and evergreen strategy. It's not during the actual initial build usually. Okay, so I want to show you guys some examples of where we've done this in the past. All right, check this out. So I want to show you real quick. This is probably one of the more crazy examples, but I have an auto webinar funnel that ran for quite a while, and it did over $1 million, and is largely completely automated. And when people opt into it, I want to tell you something about this. Okay. We've got 7% purchase rate, but most of the time, that didn't happen on the sales presentation. And I want you to see that, and that's the reason this is so powerful. I collect the email from them, they're on the list, I can afford to spend paid advertising towards it. It's been in the follow-up sequence, and then even beyond and past that I actually can go and follow up and collect the rest of the cash. Okay, I have a few buddies right now that they'll make $1 for every $1 they spend during the funnel. But then they turn back around, and because of a 30 or 60 day follow-up sequence, they'll get another $3 per $1 in spent ads over those 60 days. Fortunes in the follow-up, my friends. Let's look at a few more examples here. Now, a few of these did not have the paid aspect behind them, but this funnel right here has a 30-day follow-up sequence and has 30,000 unique people that have hit it. 25,000 people actually opted in. That's probably one of the more ridiculous ones I've ever had or seen of myself. Right here's another example. That one's called affiliateoutrage.com if you want to look at the live page on how I created it there. This one's called the MLM funnel, and this one has been a cool one as well. Stats behind that have been powerful. The MLM funnel stats, remember 10,000 people came in, 3,000 came in also, and over the course of the next 5 days, I'm dropping out some very specific sequencing to them, and that's where all the money comes from with that. While we get initial purchases from people who are like, yeah, I wanna go buy, most of the sales come in the follow-up. And that's been true on every single one of my sales funnels, so just keep that in mind. So strategy number 1 for email marketing for beginners, make sure that you have an opt-in list. Make sure that you have opt-ins, you create a piece of value and drop it out there and say, hey, give me your information in exchange. Okay, strategy number 2, email marketing for beginners, is to create what we call a self-liquidating offer. Something that they can purchase that you can afford to now spend money and break even on to grow the list. It's all about growing that list. And then strategy number 3 for email marketers for beginners is to create a huge follow-up sequence and just continue to add to it. I know guys that wake up every day and their only task for the day is to add onto the back of their sequence to make it longer and longer and longer. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, to go ahead and like and subscribe down below. And if you want to see some of my other list building strategies, all the links to the funnels I was talking about are also in the description. This is a share. It's okay. We don't really know what that is.